This is Sam of the Cheerful Word, and I'm here today with Helen Joy George, author of Yellow Tulips, a memoir, one woman's quest for hope and healing in the darkness of bipolar disorder. Well, how did you come up with the title of the book?
But really what I wanted to convey was just this string that is throughout my book of like reaching for hope and reaching for beauty. And you know, yellow tulips, they come up every spring, kind of first thing after the winter. You know, I grew up the oldest of 5 girls, and we were all homeschooled, and we followed my father around as he built roundhouses around the United States. And my mom just homeschooled us, and we went on our adventures.
My childhood on the road could be described with the sights and smells of a Midwestern gas station, Indian artifacts, roadside attractions, and threadbare diners with that greasy smell.
Also balanced with, we would come home in between the trips to Charleston, South Carolina, which was a stark contrast of our adventurous road tripping life, to where it was like everyone had to be perfect and look perfect, and there was a lot of Christian legalism that I grew up under that kind of, it's all kind of woven together. We would go to museums or state parks or whatever, and we would go into the bookstores and get biographies, and she would read me and my sister's biographies all the time, and then we would do a little bit of math. That was our curriculum. So we learned, and we wrote every single day. It's a very interesting childhood that's not consistent at all, but it's made me who I am today.
Tell me how you decided to write your story.
It wasn't until I was 31 when I had this mental breakdown that it kind of propelled me to write down my stories.
Hours passed, and as I wandered through the house, I started to see my body hanging everywhere. In my bedroom, in the hallway, all the way down our stairway to the foyer. Clones, an army of the dead.
And it happened, I really started in the midst of living it, and it felt like no one was hearing me or seeing me, and I was experiencing such horrific things that to write them down, it felt like there was like a witness, and I felt like I wasn't alone. And so it just started, and then, I think at one point I had 179 chapters that I had just written out in my manic states and my depressed states. Yeah, I had this one part in my story that I just will always stick out to me, where I was literally begging for a mood stabilizer to be given to me because I was so suicidal, and I was on the floor begging for my life. And they said, "I'm sorry, it's out of our hands, we can't help you." And I just promise you, if somebody had been bleeding on the floor, if someone had gotten shot, someone would go and help them. And that's just not the case for mental health. So we got to make a difference.
Yes.